Well, the first thing I would say, this is a very, very complex issue, and it's strung out through a long period of time. It's put together through back-channel information that comes from leakers in the intelligence community, who, if they do this, and it seems to be obvious that they did, if there's any truth in the New York Times or the Washington Post articles, they're likely in violation of 18 U.S.C. 798.
So that's what you think is the issue. So it sounds like you think the issue is the leaking, not the constant contact, as it was described by CNN and the New York Times, with Russian operatives.
Well, I think that if this is constant contact, I'd like to see some evidence. I mean, I think there's some substance to these, at least rumors and innuendos, but we've got to have some facts to work with here. And what troubles me is, let's just say it's clear that there are people within the intelligence community that disagree with President Trump, that don't want to see his administration succeed. That's part of the configuration of these timed leaks that came out. And General Flynn has been subject to a political assassination here, regardless of what he did or didn't say to President Trump or Vice President Pence.
Okay, so you don't think that it was right that he needed to be let go after having conversations about sanctions with the Russian ambassador?
We don't know the extent of those conversations, but I think that it came to the place where the change needed to be made. But I think we should be very concerned. Let's just say, for example, if President Trump has put together an operation to take out the caliphates, and maybe in Syria, maybe Boko Haram, and presume that the intelligence community thinks it's a bad idea, and they leak that intel information in the same fashion that they leaked this information, what happens to our ability as a nation? We're at great risk if we have these kind of moles with this low level of integrity that are leaking information out to move their political agenda. Why didn't they, if they really cared, why didn't they take it directly to President Trump, to Vice President Pence, have that conversation rather than leak it out to the New York Times and the Post?
So
that is unpatriotic, and it's an act that undermines our American security.
Do you believe the intelligence officials are lying?
I don't know. I don't have the transcript. We haven't seen that. Even General Flynn wasn't allowed to read the transcript. I'd like to read that in a classified setting and understand the flow of this. It may change my overall view on this, but I'm not concerned if a national security advisor has a general conversation with his counterpart in any of the foreign countries that he'll be dealing with. I think that's expected as a duty of him. And if he spoke in general terms about sanctions, to the extent if he's asked by the ambassador what happens if there are sanctions, or I guess the sanctions were put on by Obama same day, as you reported a few minutes ago, and General Flynn would have answered, well, that's something we can look at. There's nothing wrong with that. I think it's an appropriate thing to deal with foreign policy in that fashion and lay the foundation to be effective when you're sworn in.